Today, we're tackling a word we all think we know, but one that's actually packed with scientific mystery: giftedness. We're going to unpack what it really means, looking at everything from unique cognitive skills all the way to the inner workings of the brain itself. Seriously, what's the first image that pops into your head? Is it a child prodigy just breezing through impossible math problems? Maybe a young virtuoso creating some kind of masterpiece? The image we hold is powerful, but the science behind it? Well, that's even more fascinating. And that right there, that's the central puzzle we're exploring today. This is not a settled topic, not by a long shot. For decades, researchers have been wrestling with trying to pin down a single, precise definition for what it truly means to be gifted. To guide us on this journey, we're diving into a massive systematic review from 2024, and this thing is a huge piece of work. It synthesizes the findings from 104 different scientific studies, giving us one of the clearest pictures we've ever had of giftedness. Okay, so let's get right into it. First up, let's unpack this puzzle itself. Why has giftedness been so tough for science to get a handle on? This quote from the review really says it all, doesn't it? Even with a long, rich history of research, there's just no universal agreement on what the exact components of giftedness are or what the best criteria for identifying it should be. And that ambiguity, well, it has a ripple effect on pretty much everything, from how research is designed to educational policy. So, if it's so tricky to define, how do researchers actually go about identifying gifted children for their studies? Let's take a look at the tools of the trade. Now, what's really interesting here is seeing a breakdown of the go-to methods. The Wechsler Intelligence Scale is the clear frontrunner. It was used in 51 of the studies. But you can also see other heavy hitters in the mix, like Raven's matrices and the Stanford Binet are used a ton too. And this is a big deal. What the review really emphasizes here is a significant shift in thinking. Researchers are increasingly favoring tests like Raven's matrices, which lean more on visual spatial skills and abstract reasoning. This helps minimize verbal and cultural biases, which hopefully leads to a more fair and inclusive way of identifying these kids. All right, so we know how they're identified. Now for the really exciting part. What's different about their cognitive operating system? What specific advantages do we actually see in action? This right here is one of the most compelling findings. It turns out it's not as simple as just being faster and better at everything. Gifted children's minds seem to make this strategic trade-off. They are way faster in some areas, but in others, they actually slow down a bit to be more accurate. And this table just brilliantly illustrates that point. You can see gifted kids consistently outperform their peers with higher accuracy in really demanding tasks like verbal working memory. But for tasks that need a super quick response, like attention switching, their advantage is just pure speed, a faster reaction time. It's this flexible, adaptable approach to solving problems. This cognitive edge has to come from somewhere, right? So let's go deeper. It's time to pop the hood and look at what psychophysiological studies tell us is actually happening inside the gifted brain. Now, to really understand what's coming next, you need to know about something called the neural efficiency hypothesis. The core idea is pretty simple. A more intelligent brain is a more efficient brain. It just doesn't have to work as hard to get the same job done. And here's that hypothesis in action. The review found that when gifted children are doing easy tasks, their brains show less electrical activity in certain key areas. Think of it like a high-performance engine that's just idling quietly. It's not being challenged, so it conserves energy. But here is the fascinating twist. When the task gets difficult, the gifted brain doesn't just keep coasting. Oh no, it roars to life, showing significantly increased brain activity compared to their peers. It efficiently brings more resources online to tackle the complex problem head-on. It's amazing. And just remember, these incredible insights aren't from some single, isolated experiment. They are the distilled wisdom from this incredibly rigorous scientific process, one that started with over 1,200 articles. That gives these findings some serious, serious weight. Brain hardware and cognitive software are key, for sure, but they don't complete the picture. So for our final piece of the puzzle, let's explore the personality and motivational traits that seem to play a crucial role in giftedness. At the end of the day, ability needs a driver, right?
The review found that gifted children consistently score higher on intrinsic motivation, that deep internal fire to learn and understand. They also show higher self-efficacy, a stronger belief in their own capabilities, and a much greater openness to new experiences. It's this fusion of ability and attitude that truly seems to unlock potential.
So when we put it all together, a mind that makes these clever trade-offs, a brain that powers up with remarkable efficiency, and a personality just driven by curiosity and self-belief, we get a much richer, more complete picture of giftedness. And that leaves us with one final vital question. How do we build systems that can recognize and nurture this complex potential in every child?